While that's coming up, I just want to say thank you to everybody. This has been really great, just the way that we've all been able to work together and meet new people from different places about something that's so... Yes, how's that? Is that better? All right. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody. This has been awesome. Our team has had a really, really great time getting to know each other. We're from very different places, knowing very different things, and we're having a great time. Thank you. Welcome to... welcome to Hate Map. So what we found is that there is hate speech in so many different places, and it's on different social media, it's in different locations geographically, and it's really hard to figure out where it is for the people that need to know what to do with it. So what we want to do is figure out where these clusters are and give it to the people who can actually act on it. So the problem is that it's very grassroots. It's a 12-year-old here, a 35-year-old there. Hard to figure out exactly where all these people are, and our goal is to actually figure that out. To create scrapers of different social media platforms, starting with where they are, and then aggregating it into single solutions. Anyways, and then the output of it becomes this really amazing map, and you get to visualize exactly where everybody is, and then you get to learn about where the hotspots are that needs to be focused on.
So yeah, this is the visual design we've created. Unfortunately, it's a bit dark. I don't know if we could switch the light off so it's a bit more visible, but I guess the jurors have already seen it. So what you see when you enter heat map is a map of the world, and you can see by the dots. Each dot is a hate speech comment on social media, and depending on where they are placed. And as you see, there are some places where there's more than in other places, so our customers could actually find out where we need to take action. Another thing we have on the bottom is a timeline, so actually we can see how many hate comments have been made in the past time. We could also switch to like between hours to days to years, so we could actually see if there's been something happening due to a hateful event or a speech, for example, and what kind of influence that has on the users. If you could please, yeah. So we could also filter those, this visualization that we've been seeing, so we could actually filter what kind of target group there is for this hate speech. So we could actually filter it now for Jews, like hate speech against Jews, so we could already see that the visualization is changing. We could also select one country that's interesting to us, for example, Poland, click on it and get more detailed information, also filtered by the things I've been saying, and also see what kind of genders have been making those comments, or even learn more later on. We haven't made screens for that yet, but I could imagine that we would have some detailed information on other projects that have been happening there already, or more detailed textual information on that matter.
So the use cases, number one is for governments, and so giving them the data about specific regional, municipal, geographic data to better understand where hate is happening, and then they can use this for educational programs or even law enforcement in case there are a spike in activity there. Other cases are for NGOs. NGOs need to understand exactly where they're best spending their efforts and their media in terms of how to educate and stop hate speech. Another one would be based on tracking some kind of event. So maybe a politician gives a speech and then seeing immediate spikes of hate speech afterwards and being able to correlate the two. So a little bit about how it works. So we identify some pretty gruesome hashtags, and we put that through our machine, which is super hard to see, I apologize. But anyways, this is now scraping through all those different hashtags, and it pulls out a really nice CSV file that says the username, when it happened, the other hashtags it used, and the location of the person. So the code that you just saw is an actual working version for Twitter, and we would do it for all the different social media out there as well. Our team is Magdalena, I'm Josh, that's Piotrek, and also Mariusz, who had to leave, Germany, Israel, Poland, also Poland. Really nice, diverse group, both personally and professionally. A little bit about the business side of how we're going to do this. So we see this as a platform-based business that we can sell as a subscription to the different people's license fee annually. Pricing is there. Hackathons get it free, so the next one you guys have it also. In Europe, we're trying to figure out who the different customers could be. So we see the EU level, the government level, the municipal, could be media, could be NGO. There's a lot of different people who could really use this information. And then with a $10,000 subscription fee per year, we see this as a $50 million opportunity in Europe. Examples of customers. We actually also have our first client, who is a mentor here. He heard about this, he loved it, and said, this is something that I would pay for. And then I asked him and said, hey, if this is ready, would you pay for it? And he said, yes, you can even put me on the slide.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions?
Do I have a second? Anyway.
Yeah, you still have a second.
I still have a second. If you were going to invest in it, we have one investor on the panel, maybe. We have a whole plan of how we're going to use the money to make it happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from our side, from the Jewish side? Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I have two questions, if I may. The first question is, well, the idea seems to be very good. Have you done any search whether there are similar solutions already on the market?
That's a fantastic question. So we have. We have not been able to figure out anything that is a standalone. It's possible that people do have some kind of internal tools. We have not found anything.
What we have found is a map that works in a different way. It only refers to the US, and it only gathers group of hate, official groups of hate. So we know there's a Nazi group in wherever, Pennsylvania, but not actually tracked by social media. So there has to be an official group to track that.
Thank you. And the second question, you mentioned an example related to a spike after, let's say, a politician's speech. So how would you visualize some kind of trends, like the decreasing or increasing? So on the one hand, you have spatial, right? You have the map, but maybe there is also time, right? And
there is time actually already. So actually down here, depending on how high they are, this is how many reactions there are. So depending on the time, it goes up and down. So if there was a spike, you would just see it like here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.